Right now, your liver may be pouring sugar into your blood, and you haven't eaten a single bite. If you are over 55, this silent process could be the real reason your blood sugar numbers refuse to come down, no matter how careful you think you are with food. Most people believe that high blood sugar is simply about eating too many sweets, so they cut the cake, skip the soda, say no to the bread basket, and yet the next morning, they sit in the doctor's office staring at numbers that haven't moved. That is because the blood sugar problem millions of people over 55 are dealing with has very little to do with dessert. It is driven by your liver, your stress hormones, your sleep, your belly fat, and even the bacteria living in your gut. The World Health Organization estimates that over 500 million people worldwide are already living with diabetes, and hundreds of millions more are dangerously close without knowing it. Among adults over 61, the numbers are especially alarming. And the most frustrating part, many of the biggest drivers of high blood sugar are not the obvious ones. Why do some people maintain healthy blood sugar well into their 70s, while others struggle despite doing everything right? What hidden process keeps flooding your blood with sugar even while you fast? What does one bad night of sleep actually do to your blood sugar the very next morning? And what is the simple, no-cost strategy you can start using at your next meal that research shows can reduce your blood sugar spike by up to 17%. Stay with us until the end, because the answers to these questions could genuinely change how you feel every day. Before we dive in, please subscribe to this channel and tap the bell so you never miss content like this. Drop a comment below. Tell us what part of the world you are watching from. We truly love hearing from our community. Now let us understand what is actually happening inside your body, because once you see the full picture, the solutions make complete sense. Your body runs on a fuel called glucose, the scientific word for blood sugar. Your liver manages this fuel supply. When everything works well, it releases just the right amount of sugar when you need it and slows down after a meal. Your pancreas makes insulin. Think of it as the key that unlocks your cells so sugar can enter and be used for energy. In a healthy body, this system runs smoothly. The problem for millions of people in the second half of life is that the liver loses its ability to listen to insulin and keeps releasing sugar even when there is already plenty in the blood. The pancreas makes more and more insulin trying to fix things, but over time the cells stop responding. Doctors call this insulin resistance. What drives this breakdown is exactly what we are going to walk through together, step by step. Sign number 1. Your liver is manufacturing sugar around the clock. Here is something that surprises most people. When you have not eaten for several hours, including overnight while you sleep, about 80% of the sugar entering your blood is not coming from food at all. Your liver is making it. It takes raw materials from protein breakdown, fat stores, and muscle activity and converts them into sugar. In a healthy body, insulin signals the liver to slow this production after a meal. The liver listens, the factory quiets down, and blood sugar stays stable. But when the liver accumulates fat, a very common condition, it stops hearing that insulin signal. Imagine giving someone important instructions, but there is so much interference that your words cannot get through. The insulin is there, trying to tell the liver to stop, but the liver keeps the sugar factory running at full speed. This explains why so many people have concerning fasting blood sugar numbers first thing in the morning, even after a careful day of eating. The great news is that fatty liver is not permanent. The same lifestyle changes that help blood sugar, building muscle and eating more fiber, are exactly what research shows can reverse it. Sign number 2. Stress is silently ordering your body to release sugar every single day. Your body makes a hormone called cortisol when you face danger. Part of how it responds is by signaling your liver to release a quick burst of sugar, fuel for your muscles to react. In a short-term emergency, this is brilliant. The problem is that in the modern world, stress rarely comes and goes in short bursts. For many people, managing health concerns, family responsibilities, or the accumulated weight of decades, cortisol stays elevated at a low but constant level all day long. Because cortisol keeps talking to your liver, the liver keeps releasing sugar. Your blood sugar stays elevated not because of anything you ate, but because your stress system is stuck in the on position. One simple and deeply effective practice is slow, deliberate breathing, inhaling for 4 counts, holding for 4, exhaling for 6, done for just 5 minutes before bed. Studies confirm this measurably lowers cortisol. It requires no equipment, costs nothing, and works for virtually any level of physical ability. Sign number 3. One bad night of sleep raises your blood sugar the very next morning. If you take nothing else from this video, please remember this number: 25%. A single night of only 4 hours of sleep has been shown in research to raise your fasting blood sugar by approximately 25% the following day. Not from food, not from stress, simply from the sleep your body was denied. Your body has a built-in morning alarm system. Between 4 and 8 in the morning, it releases a wave of hormones to prepare you for the day. As part of this, your liver releases a gentle burst of sugar. In a well-rested body, this is quickly managed. But when you are sleep-deprived, this morning surge becomes exaggerated, and your body's ability to bring the sugar back down is significantly weakened. Bright screens, televisions, phones, and tablets in the hour before bed suppress the hormone that signals your body it is nighttime. Your internal clock shifts, you sleep less deeply, and your cortisol rhythm gets disrupted. Turning off bright screens 45 minutes before bed and keeping your sleeping space as dark as possible is one of the most powerful blood sugar interventions available, and it is completely free. Sign number 4. The bacteria in your gut are directly controlling your blood sugar. Inside your digestive system live trillions of tiny microorganisms, mostly bacteria, that scientists call the gut microbiome. Think of it as a living garden. When this garden is diverse and healthy, it produces substances that reduce inflammation and improve the way your cells respond to insulin. When the garden is depleted by too many processed foods and too little fiber, something concerning happens. The wall of your intestine is normally a tight barrier that lets nutrients through while keeping harmful substances out. When gut bacteria are imbalanced, this barrier develops tiny gaps. Through those gaps, fragments of bacterial cells drift into your bloodstream, triggering a quiet, constant inflammatory response. This low-grade inflammation directly interferes with how your cells hear insulin. The result is worsening insulin resistance driven not by sugar intake, but by an imbalance in the ecosystem inside you. Research is very clear about what helps: 4 to 5 servings of beans or lentils per week, a variety of colorful vegetables daily, and fermented foods like naturally fermented cabbage or plain yogurt with live cultures. These are traditional foods that older generations ate regularly, and science is now confirming their wisdom was exactly right. Sign number 5. The fat around your belly is not just stored there, it is actively making things worse. Most people think of body fat as passive, like padding sitting in a closet. But the fat that accumulates deep inside the abdomen, wrapping around your organs, behaves like a gland. It releases a constant stream of inflammatory signals into your bloodstream that directly block the insulin receptors on your cells. This creates a cycle that feeds itself. Elevated cortisol encourages fat storage, specifically in the abdomen. That fat produces more inflammation. More inflammation worsens insulin resistance. More resistance causes more insulin to be made. High insulin signals your body to store more abdominal fat, and the circle turns, each problem feeding the next. What research consistently shows is that exercise building muscle mass is significantly more effective at reducing this deep abdominal fat than extended cardiovascular exercise alone. Not because walking or swimming are bad, they are wonderful for heart health, but because muscle tissue is the primary site where your body captures and uses blood sugar. More muscle means a larger, more efficient system, pulling sugar out of your blood continuously. Sign number 6. Your muscles are your most powerful blood sugar tool, and most people over 55 are not fully using them. Your muscles are responsible for more than 80% of the blood sugar removal that happens in response to insulin. When you use your muscles, walking, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, gardening, they open special channels that pull sugar directly out of your blood and use it as fuel. These channels work partly with insulin and partly independent of it. This means that even when cells have developed insulin resistance, muscle activity can pull sugar out through a completely separate door. Research has shown that walking for just 10 minutes after a meal is enough to reduce the blood sugar spike that normally follows eating by between 12 and 17%. Not an intense workout, 10 minutes of comfortable walking. You do not need a gym or special equipment. You need to move your muscles within 30 to 60 minutes of eating, even gently, and your body will respond. For those able to include resistance training, light weights, resistance bands, or chair squats and wall push-ups, the benefits go far beyond each individual session. Muscle built through consistent resistance exercise becomes a permanent reservoir for blood sugar absorption, keeping your levels more stable around the clock. Sign number 7. The hidden magnesium shortage that is silently blocking your insulin. There is a mineral absolutely essential for insulin to work properly, and a very large percentage of adults over 55 are not getting enough of it. That mineral is magnesium. Think of it as the oil in your body's insulin machinery. Without adequate magnesium, the receptor on your cells that insulin connects to does not function properly. The key is there, the lock is there, but without magnesium, the mechanism is stiff and the door simply will not open. What makes this especially tricky is that the standard blood test your doctor orders does not reliably detect it. The magnesium measured in your blood represents only about 1% of the total magnesium in your entire body. The vast majority is stored inside your cells and bones, none of which a routine blood draw can see. So you can have a perfectly normal lab result and still be significantly deficient where it matters most. The foods richest in magnesium are dark leafy greens like spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and pure unsweetened cocoa. A small handful of almonds as a snack, a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds on a salad, or a square of very dark chocolate as an occasional treat can meaningfully support your magnesium levels. A modest magnesium supplement taken in the evening has also been shown to improve sleep quality and fasting blood sugar. Always consult your doctor first, particularly if you take any regular medications. Sign number 8. The foods labeled healthy that are secretly spiking your blood sugar. This one surprises people most because it involves things that carry a healthy reputation. First, fruit juice and smoothies. Whole fruit is genuinely beneficial because its fiber slows the release of natural sugars. But when you extract the juice or blend the fruit, most of that fiber disappears and the sugars arrive at your liver very quickly in liquid form. A glass of orange juice can cause a larger blood sugar spike than eating the actual fruit. The same applies to honey, fruit syrups, and processed products commonly used in health foods. Natural does not mean slow to raise blood sugar. Second, granola bars, fitness bars, and commercial granolas. These often contain ingredients like maltodextrin, rice syrup, and refined grain flours, substances that are actually absorbed faster than table sugar and can raise blood sugar more sharply than candy, despite the health-focused packaging. Checking ingredient labels and looking for flours, starches, or syrups in the first 3 ingredients is one of the most valuable habits you can develop. If they are there, treat that food as any other concentrated carbohydrate, regardless of what the front of the package claims. Sign number 9. The simple meal order that tames your blood sugar without changing a single ingredient. Here is something genuinely elegant, a strategy so simple that it requires no new foods, no new recipes, no new shopping, and no special preparation. It requires only that you change the order in which you eat the foods already on your plate. Studies have shown that eating the protein and vegetable portions of your meal first and saving the starchy or carbohydrate-rich foods for last reduces the blood sugar spike after eating by as much as 30 to 40%. Without changing anything you actually consume. The mechanism is straightforward. When protein and fiber reach your stomach first, they slow the overall pace of digestion and create a gentle barrier that causes the carbohydrates eaten afterward to be absorbed more gradually. Instead of a sharp spike, your blood sugar rises gently and steadily, exactly the pattern that protects your health over time. In practice, at a meal of chicken, green beans, and bread, eat the chicken first, then the green beans, and the bread last. At a meal with salad, soup, and rice, begin with the salad, move to the soup, and finish with the rice. This requires almost no adjustment, just a small shift in attention at the start of a meal. and the reward is a significantly calmer blood sugar response throughout the day. Now let us bring everything together in a way that works in real everyday life. The most important thing to understand is that you do not need to change everything at once. Trying to do everything overnight leads to exhaustion and giving up. What works is choosing 1 or 2 changes that feel manageable and making them consistent before adding more. A wonderful starting place is the 10-minute walk after meals. A comfortable pace is all that is needed. If walking outdoors is not always possible, walking slowly around your home or gently marching in place while holding onto a chair produces a meaningful benefit. Start with 1 meal per day, whichever is your largest, and extend from there when it feels natural. For sleep, turn off screens 45 minutes before bed and keep your sleeping space as dark as possible. This single change can noticeably improve sleep quality within the first week, and the effect on morning blood sugar can be felt quickly. For food, the meal sequence strategy, protein and vegetables first, starches last, can begin at your very next meal and costs nothing. Gradually adding beans, lentils, and varied vegetables also addresses your gut bacteria, your liver, and your blood sugar response all at once. For stress, 5 minutes of slow breathing each evening, 4 counts in, 4 hold, 6 out, takes almost no time and measurably reduces cortisol. Time spent quietly outdoors, even briefly, has also been shown to lower stress hormones significantly. For exercise, begin with movements that feel safe today. Sitting down slowly and standing back up from a chair, done 10 or 15 times, is a genuinely powerful exercise that builds the leg muscles most responsible for capturing blood sugar. Increase gradually over weeks. Progress, not perfection, is what creates lasting change. Think of these not as a rigid program, but as a collection of tools. Some days you will use more of them, some days fewer. Over time, as each habit becomes automatic, the cumulative effect on your blood sugar, your energy, and your daily sense of well-being can be truly remarkable. A few important words of care, because your safety matters deeply. Everything shared today is grounded in established research, but every person's body is different. If you currently take medication for blood sugar, blood pressure, or heart conditions, please speak with your doctor before making significant changes to your diet, exercise, or supplement use. Some strategies, particularly increasing fiber quickly or adding magnesium, can interact with certain medications. For those with kidney disease, high magnesium foods and higher protein intake may need adjustment. For anyone with a heart condition, new exercise should be discussed with your healthcare team first. Supporting your health wisely, in partnership with a doctor you trust, is always the right approach. If anything we shared today was helpful, a like on this video would mean a great deal. It genuinely helps more people find this kind of information. If you know someone who might benefit from understanding why their blood sugar stays elevated, despite their best efforts, please share this with them. Leave a comment below and share your experience. Have you noticed any of these patterns in your own health? Have you already tried any of these strategies? We read every comment, and your stories help us create better content for this entire community. You will see 2 videos on your screen right now, and we are certain you will love what comes next. Take good care of yourself, and we will see you in the next one.